How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We had record amounts of selling here today, actually yesterday, with the Bitcoin ETFs. I want to explain what happened there, why this may be a good thing, and what I'm buying during this dip. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this as soon as I make them. There's also going to be links underneath the video to Margex, where you can trade cryptocurrencies on leverage. It's not right for everyone, but if you want to try to amplify your returns, you can do this. And for example, if you go on 5x leverage and Bitcoin goes up 5% instead of getting a 5% return, or $50 on $1,000, you'd actually get a 25% return, or $250. Now, of course, this is the best time to do it is in an up market. And when you scroll out, we have been in an almost up only market since way back in December of 2022. We just saw a bit of a dip here, but that's completely normal. So I definitely think this isn't the worst time to go long. I think this is probably more of an opportune time. But of course, you have to be willing to take that risk. Now, later in the video, I want to talk to you about my strategy, what I'm doing right now with my crypto, and what I'm doing, what I'm buying. But first, let's look at HODL 15. This is all the Bitcoin ETF inflows, net inflows for the day, overlaid on the Bitcoin chart. And you can tell it really has a direct impact on price. Like, yes, there are some days where we have net inflows and the price still goes down. But generally, like when we're down, we're seeing red. When we're going up, we see green. Another red day where we went down a little bit. Another red day where we went down a little bit. And then we were going up. And then we had inflows slow and then fall. So yesterday was actually the biggest net outflow day that we've ever seen from the ETFs. You can see it was right around $326 million outflowing from the ETFs. Now, is it BlackRock? No, they still bought, but they bought a pretty small amount. You can see 74 million, which they bought less than this on other days. They've never had a net outflow day, but it's still a small day for them. And this is coming 5 or 6 days after they had their biggest day. So it does fluctuate like pretty easily. It fluctuates up and down. But the major reason that we had another outflow day yesterday was GBTC. And I covered this in the video last night, but they had another $444 million outflowing from their funds. And this is on top of the 642 the day before. This is a lot of selling. When people go in and sell their GBTC goes and sells Bitcoin. So they've sold over $1 billion, close to $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin in the last 36 hours, 48 hours. So this is obviously just a ton of Bitcoin. They've lost 5% of their overall stack of Bitcoin in the last 2 days. And that's really what's causing the price to go down. Now, I do think this is kind of a time where you have to cool down from that explosive move up. You know, you're probably sober now. You're not drunk on the high of making more and more money. And you have to reevaluate, okay, what is my goal here? Am I going to be able to stomach these downturns, these 20% downturns? Because if not, if you're going to panic sell, this probably isn't the right market, because then you'll buy when we're spiking up and then you'll sell when we're falling down. And we're bound to fall down. It's completely normal to fall down in a bull market several times, 20, 30%. So I come back to this. If your goal is to hit one Bitcoin or more, only 1.63% of all addresses have 1 to 10 Bitcoin. It's very difficult. Now, the other side of it is a lot of people don't have any Bitcoin. So yeah, 1.63% of addresses, but how many people actually have Bitcoin addresses in the world? I don't know, 10 million people, 50 million people, 100 million people. So maybe 2% of people have Bitcoin addresses, and then 2% of those people have 1 to 10 Bitcoin, and hitting one Bitcoin just became a lot easier. Now, obviously, we probably won't stay down at this price for very long, but it's 20% cheaper, 15% cheaper than it was a week and a half ago. So yeah, if your goal is to accumulate Bitcoin, to buy Bitcoin because you're bullish on Bitcoin, then you should be kind of happy because you're able to do that easier now. Now, of course, if we continue to fall down and we go down to zero, well, it kind of sucks for everyone, right? Because then our Bitcoin's worth zero, or it's worth $0, but I don't think that's very likely to happen. So if you're thinking Bitcoin's going to go up in price, well, this is probably a good scenario for you. It gives you a little bit more time to stack. Now, I do think this is a time to look at some altcoins too. I mean, yeah, Bitcoin's down 12%, but we have other altcoins that are down even more. I mean, Cardano's down 20%, Ethereum's down 18%. There are a lot of altcoins, smaller altcoins, that are down even more. One crypto that I hold a pretty big bag of, just to be completely clear, is Sync. They've made a couple listing announcements. They're going to list on Gate.io. They're also listing on BitGet. So this is pretty big. They were a cryptocurrency that you can buy pretty easily, but whenever it's on large exchanges like this, it is bullish typically because more people can buy it, and it's just easier to get in and out. So this is pretty big news for Sync. I have not added to my bag since maybe 3 weeks ago, but still, I hold my Sync tokens, and I've held it through this downturn. I think Sync is down like 60%, maybe 65%, but they've been launching more things on their Syncus website. I'm also still getting paid in cryptocurrency. I should mention that first. But a lot of companies I work with, I just accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, I accept some USDT, USDC, Solana, XRP, and a lot of the time, what I've done over the last 3 to 6 months is just hold everything that I've accepted, and before that too. But I've just started to do that, and then maybe a week ago when we started to hit new all-time highs, I was unloading some of the new money that I was getting paid. I didn't really consider that even selling because I was just getting paid in cryptocurrency and I need to pay taxes, so I just sold some of it to then pay for the taxes. But now I'm back to just hodling. I'm hodling the bags that I'm getting paid in. And eventually I will take some profits on them, but I'm not planning to do that until we hit back to where we were, until we're in the 70s again. And then I'll start thinking about taking some profit or just selling enough to pay taxes. So it's not me being bearish either. I've accumulated a lot, especially because I've basically taken a significant amount of my pay in cryptocurrency and just held it. So it's the same thing as me buying extremely heavy over these last 3 to 6 months. Now, one crypto that I did buy a little bit more of is Tips. So I added to my bag because of the fact that it just looks really strong. So Tips is a meme coin on Solana. We know meme coins on Solana have been going nuts. It's up at 0.064, which you can just see like higher lows. You can just see higher lows. And we did hit an all-time high just 4 or 5 days ago, right around almost 10 cents. I do think, obviously, there's some mental barrier at 10 cents, too, for resistance. But higher lows is pretty bullish. And they did just make an announcement as well that they're listing on Bitmart. So a tier 1, tier 2 exchange, Bitmart, makes it easier to buy Tips. But it's probably easiest if you just have a Phantom wallet to buy it over on Jupiter. So I don't want to scroll over too far so that you can see my bags here, but you can see how to buy. But you can buy over on Jupiter. I'll leave a link to that underneath the video. To be clear, I do have a pretty big bag of Tips as well. And at some point, if it continues to move up substantially, I'll probably take some profits. But right now, I am accumulating. Again, I'll leave a link to Jupiter underneath the video just to make it a little bit easier for you to buy Tips. It'll be the link to buy Tips directly on Jupiter. So just be careful. There are always impersonators out there. Make sure that you're careful as well in the comment section because there will be scammers in there. But let me know your thoughts on this market. Are you excited to have a bit of a dip? A little bit of time to catch your breath? Because I know I was moving like crazy making videos over the last couple of weeks while we were hitting new all-time highs. Like, it's a stressful time when you hit all-time highs. It's fun. It's definitely fun. But it's also very stressful. And you're getting literally the worst prices you've ever been able to get on cryptocurrencies when you're at all-time highs. So if you're in accumulation mode, if you're in buying mode, you don't want to be at all-time highs. Let me know your thoughts, though. I appreciate it. Check out the link to Margex underneath the video as well, and I'll see you in the next.